like when the date came, so the date came actually too much early because I was not getting the slot for June. So only slot was left was this March,
Sure.
and
Before we
already like
continue,
I was
I'm
prepared.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you, Sharon. You don't mind if we record this session for the benefit of our candidates, because not everybody could
Sure,
join this session.
sure,
Are
no
you, if
problem,
you're
sir.
not happy, we can if you're not happy, we can interrupt the recording.
No problem, sir.
If you,
For me, no
okay,
problem.
perfect. That's great. That's great. Thank you. Yeah. So you were saying about you couldn't find the dates for June.
June, yeah. So I just I was just only this date I got. So my like actually I have finished your recorded sessions, but I was with the Viva. So but with the Viva, like the problem was I finished up till the basic, but after that I had to change the tactics because I had only 15 days remaining for the date.
Right.
So, but that thing helped me a lot. Your like the recorded sessions and the vivas which you are doing because they give like they make a re-impact of the same thing on the brain. So at least you remember those things. At least what questions you ask from the candidates, or what when you were teaching, you were giving us the like all the concepts what you were teaching. They were doubly recorded in the brain. So it helped me a lot actually.
So when you were listening to these vivas, what was were you just passively listening to these vivas, or were you taking notes, or what was your what was it like
No, I
on
strictly followed your guidance. So I used to keep a paper, pen, everything with me. And as you were asking questions, I'll just put a rough in my rough copy. I'll just put what my thoughts were. Then I'll see the candidates' thoughts, your comments, and then I'll go back to the book and I'll just quickly I just go to the book and I'll finish that thing off. So this used to be the pattern.
fantastic? I gave her this example yesterday to one of our candidates, Kathy, and
Oh,
she was saying that I read for 45 minutes but can't really remember. I said, well, imagine
hmm.
you're practicing filling up a box, but what you're not
Excuse me, sir.
practicing
Sorry
is
to
taking
interrupt
this.
you. My Bluetooth battery is going down. Can I put on a speaker?
Yes, certainly, Sunny, if you can
Uh,
hear me. Yeah.
yeah,
So I was
now I
just
can hear
giving
you,
her
sir.
I was giving her the example that you, by reading, you're like practicing to stuff information in that box, but to
Yeah,
retrieve information from that box, it's a completely different skill. And how well, like imagine you when you're traveling, and you're packing your suitcases. If you have packed your things nicely in orderly way, in a structured way, if the information goes in a structured way, it will come out in a structured way. So that is exactly what you need to do. Is you've got to really take the information in a very, very structured way. That makes all the difference.
Yeah, it made a lot of difference, sir, because when in the like the day of exam, you are so much too much overflow of knowledge is there, so you're not unable to give it back. But the things which you used to tell us, like make slots for everything, and it will come out again. So it was helping me a lot. Even the examiners told like you are very systematic. So it was good the
Oh,
compliment for me also.
that's very heartwarming to know, and really pleased to hear that from you. In terms of this actual exam day experience, what was the high point of your exam, and where do you think you found the exam a little bit difficult?
What happens at the first session was good. Like I can see from their responses and all, like they were in a good impression with me. But the second session, as it started well. Uh, like for the first 4 to 5 minutes. After that, I don't know what happened. I was fatigued or something was there. I was unable to recall the basic things. So but they were very good. Like the examiners were so good that they know, like, okay, you are finding it difficult. They just jump up to a next question. So they are there to help you to how to sail through this journey. Actually, the examiners were very cooperative, and they know, like, okay, I'm struggling there. They used to change the topic, or they'll guide me with something else so that I come to that conclusion again. So they really helped a lot. Actually, even the examination part teaches you too much.
Fantastic. Fantastic. And is there a message you would like to convey to the people who are sitting the exam and who have actually not been able to give a lot of time to their preparation? What would be your message to them?
I'll just tell them, like, if they are in a situation like me, like I had only maximum of 3 weeks and I can get only 1 week holiday from the hospital. So when you are in the last weeks, just first hear your EDAIC to preparation lecture. Although it takes 1 hour, but it gives you a blueprint in the mind. The lecture which you took, how to prepare. You remember, sir?
I don't, to be honest, but is it
Yeah, it's
is it
there
in
on
the
YouTube also. It's a 1 hour lecture on YouTube also you have
okay.
put.
Okay.
So how to prepare for EDAIC. I think you took it in November or sometime.
Where we've given about the content, about books and all those things? Is that the
Yeah,
one?
the books. That's what the next question, next thing I was supposed to come. The books you told. If we go through those books, I think it's much more than sufficient actually. But all the recommendations should go by, like, you are doing a very good job. Your team is doing a good job for guiding us actually. This is what I can say. And I'm truly grateful to you, like, for guiding me.
Well, thank you very much. Well, all I can say is that we are an expanding team. We always like to have people who are passionate about teaching and would like to take this movement forward. It's more of a movement, to be honest, than the teaching course. So if you're interested in teaching, then by all means come and join us. And that is the one way of keeping your knowledge active and alive throughout your life. And yes, it's certainly it'll the passion of teaching keeps it going. So yeah, thank you very much for this generous words.
I'll be more than happy to join you. But sir, it was a very nice experience. I just want to thank you all and pay my thanks to the mentors also. They guided us very well and they are very knowledgeable, and just I can say thank you. I have no words.
Welcome. We have everyone here. We have Dr. Dikshita, Dr. Amrita, Dr. Dasgupta has just left. He was in the meeting with regards. He has left you, but we are all listening to you. If the faculty has anything to say, please jump in and say your generous words to Dr. Shalinder, and then I'll open it to the other the candidates who are preparing, and
Just huge
Dr. Amrita, would you like to say something?
Yeah. Huge congratulations, and it was so nice to listen that we really held you at point. So
thank you very much, ma'am. Actually, I heard your masterclass lecture also regarding radiology and focus, and luckily I got good guidance from that focus also.
It's nice to know that.
Actually, the light is slightly dim. I'm in a car actually, so.
No issue. I could make it down.
We can hear you. We can hear you very well. Yeah, absolutely. We can hear you very well. I was just muting. Yeah, focus is this is Dr. The credit goes 100% to Dr. Amrita. She convinced me to introduce all the image-based and video-based questions, including focus and all the regional images of all the regional ultrasound and stuff. And yes, I think that gives our candidates a huge edge in terms of answering those questions. It does make a big difference.
Actually, sir, because like I am basically practicing cardiac anesthesia, so we are doing too much of like transthoracic echos, lung echos, and all. But that focus lecture actually gave me a whole idea, like fast and all, because we are not doing any abdominals or anything. Mostly since last 6-7 years, I am only cardiac anesthetist. So, but the lung things and all, they have helped us a lot, actually. The how to go with the protocol, and it was really like structured class from Dr. Amrita.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
Thank you, ma'am.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic.
Thank you, sir.
I'd like to ask candidates who've joined in now if they have any questions for Dr. Shalinder, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask the questions. Anyone who has any questions? Dr. Abdullah, anyone has any questions?
Congratulations, Dr. Shailendra. I just wanted to ask you, what did you mean by making slots while preparing?
Pardon?
Like it's structured.
Yeah,
You mentioned
okay.
something called making slots, so I was wondering what
Yeah.
that means.
So actually, I think in the recorded vivas, when they ask the questions, you should follow at that time, like the candidate who's answering, he classifies the things like if you say simple, the factors affecting cardiac output. So you should have in your mind the slot of like heart rate and stroke volume, and then you divide it by that like the factors making tachycardia, bradycardia. Then you go on the physiological factors, then go for anesthesia impact and the comorbidities of the patient. So it gives you a good idea. You don't need to like learn, don't need to mug them up. If you open that definition of cardiac output, it will by itself keep on giving you. And then you make 3 tables in your mind: physiology, anesthesiology, and the comorbidity. So you have all the structures. So no need to even like if you go through it once, it will be in your mind and just you have to reproduce it. Because at that time, I'm telling you, it's a real tough time for the exam. Your mind goes blackout. So these things actually really help you. Because at that time, we are not able to remember. So try doing this, take a pen and copy and the traditional way, not the tabs and all. So it will help actually.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, there are methods for every question. There are like ways of going around. Like for example, cardiac. One of the way of answering any cardiac physiology question, for example, you know not necessarily a pure cardiac physiology question. It could be a question related to massive blood loss, for example, or baroreceptor response to hypovolemia. Divide your question into preload, contractility, and afterload. Then you will be able to, with regard to cardiac physiology, you'll be able to slot in a lot of information based on preload, contractility, and afterload. Similarly, for if you have a question on peds, you can figure out what are the things that are vital to a pediatric clinical question. Very commonly, those are common things that are important in any pediatric question. Like for example, avoiding hypothermia, hypovolemia, awareness of the drug doses based on the body weight, airway issues, hypoxia, positioning of the head. These are some vital things which are key to a particular scenario. So if you write down that whenever a question on this particular topic comes, I must always mention this. Similarly, like pediatric emergencies, there's a mnemonic called wet flag. We will discuss it later on in the mock vivas with you guys. But with wet flag, you know exactly how to prepare yourself for any pediatric emergency. It will help you not just in the exam, but it prepares you in your real life situation as well when you're dealing with a pediatric emergency. So that's probably what Dr. Shailendra means about structuring yourself. Making slot means having compartments in your answer where you're filling up information.
It helps us in those first 10 minutes when they give you the question and you have these slots. You have a very good structured answer. And I think at that time, with these slots, we can cover almost the full answer actually.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
That's fantastic. Once again, Dr. Shailendra, it's really an honor to meet you, and congratulations once again.
Same here, sir.
Enjoy. Yeah.
I'm grateful to your whole team. Thanks from my side. And it was a really good experience joining you. Actually, one of my seniors did your course
What was his?
Contacted you.
What's his?
Manish Jain. He's in
Manish
UK
Jain,
now.
okay.
He's in
He's a
Leeds.
cardiac. He was a cardiac.
He was with me.
anesthetist.
He was my senior here.
Yes.
He only.
He's in. Yeah.
He's now, I think, in London.
Yeah, he's in Leeds, I think. Yes.
Yeah.
So I would say don't stop your exam thing here. I would strongly say that go for a fellowship, either FRCA or FCI. We certainly do the courses for both those exams, and do get in touch with us if you're preparing for those exams.
Sure, sir. I'll let you know, sir.
Yeah. All the best again, and have a
It's a
great
pleasure
day.
meeting you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Same here again.
Thank you, sir.
And so let's say who do we have? Dr. Geeta is here. Dr. Geeta, congratulations, and it's great to see you here. How are you?
Hello, sir. I'm fine, sir. How are you, sir?
Yeah, very good, and great to hear from you. The voice has changed, certainly, several notes after passing the exam.
No, sir,
I
not
can
much.
see. No, well, it's good for the good. I'm saying that because a lot of people who are underconfident, for them it's a great booster, because certainly their voices will change after being successful in the exam. So it's fantastic. Tell us, how was your experience of the exam? What did you feel after the day for yesterday?
So for me, it was the same thing like Shailendra sir. Like I had planned for this June session, and then I could get only the March slot, and like I was totally clueless when I got the March slot. Like there is only 1.5 months left for me to prepare, and then I had like asked a few of my seniors like what books I have to start reading, the podcast. So most of them told the same thing, and then in the groups also it used to come like to read the podcast first, and then you can start with master pass. Like these were the books that were given as a reference to start with. So I was just planning to finish the podcast at least this in 1.5 months. But then I made a schedule, and currently I was not working. So it was one good thing for me that I was not working, and I could manage the time for preparing in total. So I read those. Then once, like when I asked you personally also, you, Amrita ma'am, both of you helped me a lot, like telling me like what preference to give first to which one, and like to read the Amma Plunkett. The words which you said like were in my mind. Like going to exam without reading Amma Plunkett is like going to church without Bible. So
You're right. Yeah.
So I thought like now I have to read this also. I have to make time for this. Then eventually like my first plan was to just read the podcast, but then eventually I could make time for Amma Plunkett, then a few of ICU topics, which I thought I was like, even now I think I'm weak in some ICU topics. So I used to ask like which are the important ones that I have to cover. So ma'am has guided me, Amrita ma'am has guided me, and like Dikshita ma'am, Das sir, everyone has told like what topics to be covered importantly in this ICU, so that I just have a rough idea, like at least I could cover some topics so that I'm not blank in that at least. And then finally, like it was a clumsy preparation for me. But then somehow I could clear. Even I was shocked after the result.
You've done very well. It wasn't a clumsy preparation. You scored in 70s, isn't it?
Yes, so 73.
73. Yeah, that is not a sign of a clumsy preparation. So it's you're being humble about your preparation. It's sometimes you don't know within yourself how well prepared you are. It's the confidence that you need to perform. That you get only after you've faced the mock viva situation.
Yes, sir. So even before that, I was like like not having any idea about how the vivas go or something like that, like what questions they ask. Like they said they give 10 minutes preparatory period before the exam, and then like we have to make out the we have to make some notes, like what all questions could be asked in anticipation of that. And then when we go there, they suddenly change on to some topics. So that diversion of mind at that point and all, attending these mock vivas has helped me so much in getting that kind of accustomed to that attitude. And most of the questions which I luckily got in my mock vivas were repeated in my final exam also. So Amrita ma'am once in one session asked me about hyponatremia, like what are all the causes and its classification. You had showed the chart, or I mean the table on the screen.
Yeah.
So I took a screenshot. I just like for a moment I revised that thing and before the exam, and then went. So they asked me the same question. And it was like in a flow,
Fantastic.
just I had divided the table and told them, then they were like, okay, this is fine, you can go to the next one. And once Deekshita ma'am had asked me about this haloperidol, this ICU psychosis and all. Then she went into the drug side effects, everything like that. So QT prolongation, VF, all these. So the same question had come for me in one station regarding haloperidol. The same questions I felt like what all ma'am had asked, they asked the same thing. So it was like as if I gave a fifth mock viva or something with them. I didn't feel any like very new or something like that. It was very nice. Like attending these mock vivas had made me like very much familiar with what pattern the exam goes, and the fear of exam had actually is not there actually on the day of exam.
I mean, you come from the premier hospital, premier institute in India, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, and nothing less can be said beyond this. When someone is coming from All India Institute of Medical Sciences, your knowledge, skills, and your awareness of what's happening is way beyond, expected to be way beyond. But you can imagine that how such a basic exam can still upset
Yes, sir.
such a worthy candidate. It's just the fear of an unknown. It's not an exam where you're all familiar with, and it's just treading into that territory. That even a basic question can make you fail the exam.
Yes. Yeah.
Certainly. Any word of advice you would like to give to the candidates before I ask, open the floor, and people would like to put their own questions through?
First of all, I would like to thank all of you for guiding us. And then my advice would be like at least like if you can do a few mock vivas before attending. Like this was my experience because I had taken this mock viva, so I'm not sure about like other material which is there and all. So attending mock vivas, I think it's very much necessary before giving exam, because you'll be familiarized with the pattern, and the fear of exam will be gone. But then like your preparation should also be uh, like up to the mark, or many of us will be working, so we will not find time for ourselves to prepare and all. So the time management should be there. And I think reading basic books at least like for a single reading at least should be done, because the vast majority of topics that we cover in these books are not the ones which we actually do in practice daily. So yes, so that's it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I'd like the faculty to say a word.
Sir, I have one question to ask to Dr. Geeta. Like
Yes,
few
ma'am.
days to exam, you called me, you asking that, ma'am, I could not finish the clinical from podcast. The same day I told you, don't worry about finishing clinical from podcast because you will not get the question from podcast as you are thinking. So do you think that was means I was right on the same, or you found it different, especially on teaching?
Ma'am, actually, after you had told me, there is no need to cover this clinical topics. So then I switched on to that Emma Plunkett, which I was actually planning to read. So after that, I read very few topics, but then clinical, I think there is as such no need to read from podcast as such, unless it is something
I want to tell
we
actually
need.
what, because people spend a lot of time reading from podcasts, the clinical part, but finally, I never found it very useful. Yes, it is. I will not say it is not at all, but not to that level of the time they spare for finishing this book. This is what I always personally felt. So that's why, and this is the same doubt you had to me before your exam.
Yes,
That's why I
ma'am.
wanted you to tell, just make them clear on this point. Do really they put questions directly from podcast like they do for the basic sciences?
Um, Actually, the clinical things are very much similar to what we do in daily life. So there is no need as such for us to read it from books. But then the cardio and neuro part, which we usually not practice it daily. So those topics, I felt like it is better if we actually go through one reading through those topics. But then the general ones like MI and all, since I had given my MD exams very recently, I found there is no as such need for me to revise them just before for the preparatory phase actually. For except for the cardio and neuro part. Rest all topics, I felt like this is the one which I had actually read very recently, all the guidelines and all. So it was easy for me. But then the basics part, that was one thing which I had to read thoroughly, practicing the diagrams and all. That is more important than the clinical ones, I felt. Because clinical, anyways, we could manage with the experience that we have. But then basics part is one thing which we actually had to read from books, spend more time on that rather than the clinical part, as you said.
Gita, can I jump in here? Can I just ask you a
Yes,
very
sir.
cheeky question? Now that you've passed the exam and
Yes,
you're and you now you look back, if I say to you that you have 10 days to prepare for the exam, right? Just 10 days. In those 10 days, if you were to do that your preparation, how would you do it? Where would you read for your basic sciences? Where would you go for your basic science work? Where would you read your clinical? Where would you read your regional? How would you use those 10 days to get your preparation done?
Is it with no previous preparation at all, sir? Only 10 days left for my exam.
Just imagine you've just picked up the books, 10 days to go.
Okay. Then I would suggest Emma Plunkett is one book that we have to read because it is like very self-explanatory. All the diagrams that they give, they were all very good. Then I think I actually took some a week or something to read Emma Plunkett. I could finish the book in a week or something. So if it is just 10 days left, maybe Emma Plunkett, then I don't know. How I would have planned.
I've made you panic already with giving you 10 days. Imagine you have 30 days to go. Okay, let's say if you have 30 days, how would you plan it now?
Okay. Like I'm not
Where
sure,
would
sir.
you
I
where
think
where
the
where
one
where would you read your basic sciences from?
from the podcast, sir.
Where would you go for your clinical sciences?
I actually gave a reading from the podcast, but then in case I am lacking of time, I would skip that part and then go to Emma Plunkett first, then come back if I have time any left.
Sure. Okay, fantastic. I'll let the others ask questions. Any questions from you guys, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask the question.
Hello, sir.
Hi, hi.
Hello, sir. Sir, I have a question. Basically, on time management. I mean, my situation, I'm working in, unfortunately, in a very busy OT schedule, and they are not very much cooperative also. So it is, for me, it is very much difficult to read during the OT timing. So how I can manage my time? Uh, like if I can say that my duty start from morning 9 to evening around 6 to 7. So on a daily basis, how I can plan my preparation?
Okay. Would anyone like to answer this question, or do you want me to answer this question? Geeta, do you have any suggestions on this question? Okay, let me, yeah, anything that you'd like to say? Okay,
So I
let
would
me,
like to pitch it.
yes, please do.
I have honestly been working in a very similar environment, and I used to have OTs which started at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I used to get done by around 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock at night. So thankfully, my OT people were a little helpful, and I got the last 5 days leave. But apart from that, I've also been working in a very busy hospital. But the one thing that I ensured was that I came home and I spent at least 4 to 5 hours reading up new topics and 1 hour of watching vivas. That was my schedule that I tried to maintain. And I think with that, it was doable. Not very great, but at least I managed to pass. So it was fine. That was the
Fantastic.
schedule.
Well, fantastic. Well, before I say congratulations to you, Dr. Arundhati, we'll have a separate, another complete separate slot for you. But thank you for the input. What I was about to say to Dr. N, your name appears as Dr. N only, the person who's asked the question. I couldn't.
Sorry.
Nabanita, yes, Dr. Nabanita. It's always easy to have small targets, right? If you go with keeping in mind that you're only going to take 3 or 4 topics throughout the whole day, 24 hours of the day, you will be able to achieve them. If you go with a preparation of doing 50 topics, you can never cover them. So pick up only very small bite-size, targets where you can really where it's achievable, because that will not demotivate you. Once you achieve that, you set the target higher and higher as you go along. Certainly, our vivas, the recorded vivas, and recorded lectures. There are certain lectures which are 5 minutes of 5 minutes duration, of 10 minutes duration. All you need to do is, while your patient is on the table, you can just keep your pen and paper handy while making sure you're not being inattentive to the patient. You can just in the background listen to that information and soak it all in. 5-10 minutes of going through that information, it will at least make you revise those topics, or in your lunch break or in your coffee break in between. Just I follow a similar kind of a schedule as well, starting at 7:45, finishing at 7-8 in the evening, 5 days, sometimes 6 days a week. And that's exactly what I do. I do multitasking. I always go with a plan in place every day. What are the things that I need to do? And I schedule everything with my cases. Like, okay, for the first case, this is my target. For the second case, this is my target. For the third case, this is my target. And when I have attached targets with my cases, I know exactly how to schedule my work according to my cases. Follow something like that and tag some work along with your cases, and you'll be able to progress along with your work schedule. I mean, I found that helpful. Maybe it might work for you, but certainly something worth trying.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Most welcome.
Hello, sir. I need to ask one thing, one of the material, like how would you suggest Masterpass, like we have Masterpass 1 and 2 and Masterpass oral examination books for EDAIC preparation?
Yeah, so this is for the people who just passed the exam. So how would you guys like to answer this?
तो फोन बंद करो, आपको नहीं आता फोन बंद करना?
फोन बंद करना है?
Okay, yeah. So any suggestion from the people who passed the exam about Masterpass? Dr. Arundhati, Dr. Geeta, or anyone, Dr. Jinsi, anyone who wants to give a suggestion on the Masterpass? I've not read that book, so I'm sorry, I'm not in a good position to answer this question.
Okay, sir. Actually, like I read that book for EDAIC Part 1, and I was reading other few books. So just wanted to ask regarding.
Okay. Sorry, any other questions, guys? Okay, so I'd like to invite Dr. Sohana, if she is around. Just message me. Dr. Sohana, are you around? Dr. Sohana, are you with us? No. Okay. Can I please ask Dr. Arundhati to please unmute herself and tell us a bit about your experience? How was your preparation and how did it? Unable to unmute. Sorry, Dr. Arundhati. I think Dr. Sohana is here, but she has just said that she's unable to unmute herself. Let me just unmute her because she had to. Just bear with me. Dr. Sohana. Okay, Dr. Sohana, can you? I've triggered the unmute button. Can you hear me? Are you guys able to unmute yourself, or is there a problem with the settings here? I think. Jitesh, can you check the settings if
Yes, sir.
You can unmute yourself. Okay.
I can unmute.
Yeah, I think everyone can. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm able to unmute, sir.
Perfect. Abdullah, when is your exam? Abdullah Arvila.
Hello.
Abdullah, when is your exam?
Yeah, in 21 April.
21st April. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yes, I thought it was. Yes.
Yeah, it's face to face.
It's face to face as well. Yes, certainly.
Yeah.
Yes. Good.
Wish you good luck for me.
We are all the Ramadan are here. We'll be praying for you every day. Don't worry. Extra blessings.
Yeah, thank you.
So, most welcome. Dr. Arundhati, can I please request you to unmute yourself? And
Sir, Suhana here, sir.
yes, Suhana, finally.
Hi,
How are you? Congratulations
I'm good,
once
sir.
again.
Thank you, sir. How are you, sir?
We are very good. Very good. The whole faculty here is very good. Dr. Amrita, Dr. Dikshita, Dr. Dasgupta has just left, but he was here as well. And I don't know if Dr. Anwar is here or not, but certainly most of the faculty is here. How are you and how was the experience? Tell us all about it. How was the unravel the whole experience?
Yes, sir. So, first of all, I started with the lectures, recorded lecture and the Viva session, sir. So first I tried to complete the physiology lecture and then went to the Viva part of the recorded lecture, sir. Recorded Vivas. So first after completing that, so one by one I completed all the topics, sir. And then I started with my mock Viva, sir. So mock Vivas was like before, when the question is asked to some other person, you feel like, okay, you know this. But when you are in that hot seat, you feel like, okay, you keep forgetting at that moment. And then once your Viva is done, then you remember, you recall that, okay, I knew this. So that was very helpful, some mock Viva. Initially, you will be very scared. After that, like your confidence builds up.
Certainly, certainly. And in terms of the time scale, how much time did you give to the preparation?
I think, sir, I'm not very sure. So maybe 3.5 months, sir. Like initially, I completed the lecture in the Viva part, and then I went to the mock Viva, and then simultaneously I started revising the lectures and the Viva once again, sir. So it took almost 3.5 months, sir. And most importantly, so the Bangalore session which you conducted, sir, that was very helpful, sir, because online, I don't know, I'm not so comfortable, sir. But when you are face to face, it's better. I think it's much better.
Yes, you're right. Some people have their comfort in an online version, and some people do find the face-to-face a lot more easier. And for that very reason, in last week of April, that is 28th of April and 28th, 29th, I think it is, or 27th, 28th April, Saturday and Sunday, we are running a face-to-face course in Dubai. And those of you who can attend that course, especially people having their exams in May, June, July period and onwards, please do join us. We have started the advertisement for that, and we've kept it on a weekend just for that very reason. And we'll have our full faculty in there, so that is a chance to not just get your doubts cleared, but interact with us for 2 days. That really helps you a lot, as Dr. Sohana has just mentioned.
Yes, so the 2 days, like not even a second, you made us feel that it's worth more than what we paid for, sir. It was very helpful, sir. Being with you, Das sir, Amrita ma'am, Dikshita ma'am, it was very helpful, sir.
Great. I'm so glad that you found this worthwhile. All of us, we stretched ourselves. Someone had finished nights and then boarded a flight.
Yes, sir.
I landed in UK at 7:15. I think 7. At 7:15, my flight had landed in the morning, and I was in the hospital at 8 o'clock to start work. That is how we managed to do the session.
Yes.
So it's but I think we all the faculty pushes themselves really to keep this going, and that's why it's so heartening to see you guys succeed and move forward.
Yes,
That's
sir.
fantastic. Any advice you would give, Sohana, to candidates who are short of time or who are finding it difficult? You certainly had been pushing yourself very hard. What is your final word of wisdom?
I think, sir, whatever, it's better to go through the mock Viva just before your exam, maybe 1 month or 1.5 months. And simultaneously, it's better to keep revising whatever topics they're at, because you keep forgetting the things. So I think basic science, you have to put more effort on it, because clinical, if you attend the mock Vivas, what Amrita ma'am and Dikshita ma'am takes, I think that's enough, because the way to how you approach the patient. For example, the common question like hypotension after spinal. So what are the causes? It's not like we won't say only because of spinal. They have made us think in different ways, like system-wise, CNS causes, CVS causes. So examiner also will be impressed that you are not just confining yourself to only spinal causes. You are going to other systems as well. So that is one thing you get through the mock Vivas. So I think clinical, the mock Vivas are sufficient. But basic science, you have to read a lot. So you need to give more time for basic sciences and the graphs, of course. That will make your life easy.
In the exam, did you
Yes.
come across any topic that was
Yes, sir.
not discussed in the course or in the live session, in the mock viva or during the recorded vivas? Was there any topic that you found that was completely new and that caught you off guard?
I think so. Most of the topics were discussed, sir. Like, if not directly, indirectly, it was discussed, sir. But I think we have to revise a lot. Like, we have to put our effort, and we have to revise a lot on basic sciences, sir. So clinical, even the POCUS and whatever topics the ma'am has taken, sir, that is also very useful, sir.
Great. Any questions from Sohana? Anything that you guys want to ask? And faculty, please feel free to extend your felicitation to Sohana.
So heartiest congratulations. I was so happy for Suhana. I still remember her when in Bangalore. She was so scared. At the same time, she has planned for him and all. I really wanted that she somehow should make this possible. So I was very
Thank
happy.
you, ma'am. Thank you so much. And I think everyone should give your vivas with Amrita, ma'am, in the beginning. Because it's very scary to face her. Once you face her, you get that confidence. So
It's called,
giving viva with you is very important.
There is a term in English called baptism by fire. You know, baptism is a process which is by water. If you start your first viva with Dr. Amrita, it's proper baptism by fire. So after that, nothing will touch you. So yes, I strongly recommend.
But though Dr. Suhana was very much scared with me, but every time she will be the first to volunteer, ma'am, I wish to take viva with you. So I always tell, if she is scared of me so much, why she wants me on first as a examiner? That was always
No,
in
ma'am,
my
because later on you'll be more scared, ma'am. When others give them their vivas, you'll be more scared to give the viva with you, ma'am. So it's better to face you first.
Fantastic.
And with Deekshita,
Congratulations,
ma'am,
Dr. Suhana. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Congrats. Really, we are very happy. In fact, she's one such candidate who like really showed such a dedication to her preparation, and even for the mock vivas, she used to sincerely attend most of it. I mean, I don't think she missed any of the time when she was preparing
ma'am.
for her exam. She was there for all the vivas, and she sincerely showed her progress both in her knowledge as well as her confidence, and how every small thing she implemented it, whether it's regarding to how you answer or what. I mean, even though, like, for instance, if we used to say that you use some audio, like with the headset or whatever for the exam, even that she made it a sincere. She took her sincere efforts to use the best of the audio set. I remember she used to have a good
Yes.
speaker type with mic attached. So, I mean, she was really sincere in everything, and really your hard work has paid it off. And we used to have great fun. I mean, and taking your viva as well.
Thank you, ma'am. No, ma'am, with you, it's like,
And
even if it's difficult, I mean, somehow you can answer, ma'am. But with Amrita, ma'am, you get very scared, ma'am.
no, that's what we have to play as a seesaw, I mean, somebody's trying to pull you down, somebody has to pull you up as well.
And
I mean,
one more
that's when,
advantage is that,
and
ma'am, in
to
this,
tell you the truth, I mean, I can see, I mean, when all of you are talking in this session, we could see both. I mean, I could see myself on the other side, like how when we gave this exam and when we were asked to talk about the success, and it's just a similar exam. And trust me, I was the one who faced Dr. Amrita the maximum, and we were preparing with each other, and at 1 o'clock in the night, early in the morning, I used to face such kind of vivas.
Dakshita, why you had to face Amrita? Because in the faculty, it was only me and Yasser. There was no Amrita, so you had to face her as a
Yeah,
colleague.
exactly.
So it has to happen like that in the middle of the night. She will not be able to recollect something. Then I will shout at such a voice that she will fall asleep to remember that fact.
Yeah. So, I mean, the take-home message, guys, for people who are listening here is very clear. This candidate, Sohana, was extremely dedicated. She came with all her hard work, all her commitment to work with us. There are no shortcuts. We won't tell you anything that is a magic bullet and that you can take that and then you'll pass. The hard work has to come from you. All the dedication and hard work has to come from you. We can certainly get you in the right direction, show you the techniques of succeeding with the same effort. You can take your preparation further, but without your commitment and hard work, nothing is possible. That's why we, as Dr. Amrita was very precise and very blunt about pointing out the facts, and which works actually, that if you don't put in effort, there's nothing that you'll gain from this forum. So we will definitely push you to the maximum, but you should be willing to get your put your 100%, and that combination works really well. Certainly, thank you again, Sohana, and it was lovely to hear from you, and we will look forward to seeing you in UK sometime in April when you join us, your job here, and we'll certainly have a Academics meet at some point in UK as well.
Sure. Thank you so much, sir. I would like to thank all the faculty, sir, Das Gupta, sir, Danis, sir, Amrita ma'am, Dikshita ma'am, Anwar, sir, everyone. So thank you so much, sir.
Most welcome. Most welcome.
Thank you.
Dr. Arundhati, sorry, I had just asked you to join in and had to cut your short at that point. Do you mind unmuting yourself and telling us? I know that you were not able to meet us or in person, or I don't think you did our mock vivas either, but I think you just took our recorded sessions. Is that correct?
Hello.
Hi, Dr. Arundhati, can you hear us?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sorry, I'm traveling. I don't have very good connection.
No worries, no worries.
Yes.
We can hear you very clearly. That's perfectly fine.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. I did not actually take up the mock viva session. I started my preparation after I got the dates. I had exactly 41 days to prepare, and at that point, I did not know about academics. So I just started with the basics. I had read Emma Plunkett for the part 1, and I had podcast and masterpass. So I was just
I think we lost her there, and what the key message that she's left behind in that passing phase is that she didn't know about academics, and I think that is something very important. We are not very good in advertising about ourselves, and I think you people just come to know accidentally about us. So make sure that you please tell your friends and people who you know are sitting the exam, and do a favor to them. Sorry, Arindra, we lost you briefly there. Yeah, you were saying that you had only 41 days.
I really could answer a single question that was. Hello?
Yeah, say again, please.
Yes, sir. So I came across when I had only 21 days, and the first viva which I attended, at that viva, I realized if I continue my preparation like this, there was absolutely no way I could answer any of those questions. So then I shifted my focus. I made sure that I write down points from each of the vivas that were talked about. I went back, I read as much as I could. I started making small bullet points regarding what are the important topics that are asked, and I kept going through all the vivas as much as I could. So the vivas twice, and the second time when I was watching, I made sure that I muted myself when the answers were being said. So I was giving like a mock viva to myself when you asked the questions. As much as I could, and that's how I helped. It helped me to structure my answers, to focus on myself, to be better prepared to answer each of these questions. So I think I'm very, very grateful that I came across at least in the last 20 days, because if it was not for this, I'm sure I wouldn't have made it.
And I think I would ask you to please propagate this message to the people you know about ecumenics, because we are not a very well advertised group. We are not very good in posting our adverts in different groups. So please spread the word, and as much as it will do a favor to us, it will do a huge favor to people who are sitting the exams. And we will certainly be trying to do more face-to-face courses in the coming year, in this year. So we will be starting in April in Dubai, and last week of Dubai, but we'll come to India as well at some point. We've been to Bangalore in January, maybe Hyderabad or New Delhi or Calcutta. We don't know it yet, but we will certainly make another journey and come to India later this year, and keep yourselves aware of this, and we will certainly advertise our courses at least a month and a half in advance. So in terms of your Viva, did you find that there were any glitches in the Vivas that you found difficult to overcome?
So, certainly, but I knew that basically I had to gather my thoughts, and I knew that I need to give a structured answer with a proper classification, and all of that really helped, because I could just even if I come across a scenario which I wasn't well prepared for, I knew that the basic things that are required, I could present them with that. And then there were a lot of points that were discussed in the Vivas. So if I couldn't answer specifically, I could at least answer around them and then maybe come to the point. So the practice that you said, that I should take a deep breath before I start answering any question, that really helped. And there was one mock Viva by Amrita ma'am, in which she had said that you have to remember that you have to answer as many questions as possible, so that you get to show them that you do have knowledge regarding all the subjects. So I tried to do all of that as much as I could. All of that really helped.
If you were to look back, I ask these awkward questions, I'm sorry, but if you were to look back to the 41 days that you've of preparation, and there was one thing that you'd say that, maybe there was one thing, if I could have which was not so much beneficial for my preparation, what would that thing be? What do you think was something that really was not that much of use?
So I think reading in general was not at all very helpful. I always, after I saw the videos, I thought that I should have really attended mock Vivas, practiced speaking to myself more often, and at least discussing stuff with juniors. That actually have to recall. For basic sciences, yes, reading was very important, but for clinical knowledge, for clinical aspects, I would rather speak more than I read. And I think that is one thing that I should have done more.
It's very gratifying to hear it from you rather than us telling you the same thing. It's very important aspect here. Very, very accurately pointed out. Passive reading, just going over those topics over and over again, doesn't make you're right. It just makes you feel good, maybe, that you're spending more time on the subject, but the yield from that practice is not huge. Fantastic.
Yes.
What's the next step after passing EDAIC?
So I still have to complete my bond, but after I finish that, I would definitely plan to move to UK as soon as I can.
Fantastic. While you're still bonded, might be a good idea to finish other exams as well. I mean, you can finish local exams, but certainly finish FCI, which is the next step, actually, the fellowship of the College of Anaesthetists of Ireland. You don't have to work in Ireland to finish that. So it's something which you can certainly consider while you still have the knowledge stacked up in your grey cells. So think about it. Don't leave it for too long before the knowledge starts dissipating.
Yes, sir. I will definitely consider it. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. Thank you again, Arundhati, and have a great day.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Have I missed out anyone? Just Jinsi, Dr. Jinsi, Lukachan, how are you? Please feel free to unmute yourself. And I came across your name so many times, but I've never had a chance to speak to you, I think.
Hello, sir. I'm doing good. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very good. Where are you from, Dr. Jinsi?
India, Kerala.
Kerala, fantastic. Have you done any mock vivas with us?
No, I haven't done mock. Actually, I started my serious preparation now only after getting the dates at the end of January. So I think I was actually had the whole thing to read and work and everything all together. So I was totally at loss, but it was just around that time itself that I came to know of this group from one of the WhatsApp or somewhere I did get across to this group, and that's how I went through those courses, and I actually bought the lectures and the mock vivas. Those were the ones that I had purchased and gone through before the exam, along with all those books, the usual podcasts and the masterpass books like that, and the Emma Plunkett. And with everything, I actually barely just managed to finish going through most of it, and the vivas and everything, and that's how I prepared for the exam.
Fabulous. So I think you're the third or fourth candidate who's just mentioned that you came to get this. You got this date not by choice but by accident. So 30 to 40 days of preparation. It's very, very daring sort of way of preparing for it. But well done. You've managed to succeed in that. That's very hard.
I honestly don't think I would have managed without the input I got from this sessions from your course, from the academics group, because otherwise just going through those books and reading them alone would not give you the insight of how the exam is done and how it is being, what questions are to be expected and how you are supposed to answer. So I definitely, the course is what definitely helped me to succeed. What would have been the best words was actually if I came to know of this course much earlier and started off. Definitely, I think the mock vivas are the ones that a person needs to attend to actually get that exam feel and get over all the fear and comfortably deliver your best. So I wish I had came to know about this course and everything even much earlier, so I could have made more use of it. And I definitely recommend it to everybody, anybody I would know. Few people have asked, and I've already told them this is the best place to go.
Fantastic. I mean, you absolutely said the right thing. Reading text and reproducing that text into words and explanations is exactly like you read a story of a script, for example, and then you try and act that script. Completely two different things. Enacting a script into emotions, into a completely different visual experience is extremely difficult. So just reading the book and then reproducing in the exam, it requires a lot of many steps in between to cover, and those steps are only covered when you see the visual aspect of it. Personally, I find it very hard to read, but I find it so much easier to listen to the videos, watch people speak, and watch visual display of graphs and stuff like that. I can absorb things better that way, and I found that this is such a wonderful way of learning anesthesia, not just for exam practice, but generally to learn a lot about anesthesia just by discussion and through these sessions. So you're right. Exam is just one milestone in our journey of anesthesia. Certainly, when you're doing anesthesia and you want to upgrade your knowledge all the time or keep up to date, these sessions are really vital. I find every time I go to the recorded sessions myself, sessions I had conducted myself, I revisit them and I learn back from myself again. So it's really a journey of absorbing the whole stuff all over again.
Right.
Great, but thank you so much. And I'll just a word from the faculty, people who haven't been able to speak to you before.
Invited Dr. Sangeeta, I think, no?
Yeah, Dr. Sangeeta is in the session. I have not been able to see her so far. Dr. Sangeeta, yes, she is. Hi, Dr. Sangeeta. Thank you so much, Dr. Jinsi, for joining us. And thank you for the kind words once again. And please do spread the message.
Thank you, sir. Thank you to all the faculty there. You're doing a great job. Thank you.
Most welcome. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Dr. Sangeeta, welcome to the session. Feel free to unmute yourself. If I will try my best, but I think you will have to. Are you able to unmute yourself, Dr. Sangeeta? So while she's unmuting herself, I'll just give a little brief background. She was trying to give the exam last year, but because of health issues, she couldn't. But she is such a brave person who managed to get herself together and managed to put a brave face and do the exam this year. And that's that's the courage and resilience our candidates have shown. You know, we are not college kids anymore. We have so many things going on in our lives, in our personal lives and professional lives, and it's always hard to put all those things together with our preparation. And certainly this platform helps you in that way, that it's flexible. You can do things in your own time and space and make it work. And certainly this is one of those things which Dr. Sangeeta has shown. Hi, Dr. Sangeeta. Can you hear me?
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Hi, welcome to you and congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Well
Thank
done.
you. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, and academics and team.
How does it feel?
Yeah, like I'm very happy. Like I can't express my happiness in words, sir. Really, like this meant a lot to me.
Certainly. Well, it meant a lot to us as well, equally. You know, seeing our candidates flourish like that, it's truly heartwarming for us as well. So
Yeah.
well done.
Thank you so much, sir. I really want to thank the entire academic team and especially to Dikshita ma'am, because she's the one who motivated me during my tough times, and I booked my Viva during last November, but I couldn't write due to my health condition, and she's the one who motivated me till the last times, like, yeah, you can do it, everything. And I really I can't express my words to her, my thanks to her. Like, she's the one, she's the main reason that I took this exam in this March so early. Like, I really want to thank her and the entire academics teams. Thank you so much.
Most welcome. Most welcome. It is. She told me about. She reminded me about you a couple of days ago, and it was certainly one of those stories where, you know, of resilience, of never giving up and really gathering yourself up again, doing it. And it's an inspiration for us. A lot of us are in difficult situations, but when we see others struggle in those difficulties and get up and go, it makes us feel that yes, certainly we can too. Dikshita, would you like to say something?
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to join in, sir. I mean, Dr. Sangeeta, first and foremost, a big congratulations for you. I mean, your hard work truly paid off. I mean,
Thank you.
the tough. I mean, I think you've gone through a very tough time and you've come out of it. So I think that you're just like being humble about your hard work in this rather than, I mean, of course, our motivation, the team, what we gave, we spoke, that's a different ball altogether. But the effort you have put, and in fact, you have actually been an inspiration to all of us. I was discussing a couple of days back with Dr. Danish sir as well about yourself. I mean, the tough times you went through. I mean, actually, what people have learned through all these things is nothing. And I would say Dr. Sangeeta, again, one more candidate like Dr. Suhana, who attended sincerely most of the vivas. She wanted to give the exam. I mean, she was quite well prepared, but because of certain emergency health situations, she could not give it. But that's when I had told her that, not lose hope. You are well prepared, but don't lose the track and give it as soon as possible. She followed everything. She said her to the vivas. I mean, I'm sure she was again drilled by all of us. I hope Dr. Amrita remembers how she was initially being afraid about attending the vivas, but later on she started volunteering herself. So, I mean, seriously, I would say, I mean, I'm actually out of words, to see your success. Tanisha, if you remember, day first we was talking about her, and I was literally out of words when I heard that she cleared.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, we develop
an emotional
relationship
bonding, rather, actually.
Yes, true. It's not just a professional relationship. We are quite closely attached to you guys in that respect.
I mean,
so it gives us immense joy.
Being closely attached with her through the situation she went, I felt her success as mine, literally.
Thank you.
Of course, I felt.
Like apart from the knowledge, like what I gained from academics is that the confidence to speak like in front of others. That is the main thing is much needed for the vivas, ma'am. That is what I felt. Because we are the anesthetists, we have that knowledge to. We all will have the knowledge, but during my first question also, like I was little nervous and then thought like, okay, I can do it. That is the confidence which I gained through academics. Like the confidence to speak, like the to get through my fear. All these things is the main thing that I learned from academics. So I thought that is the thing much needed for the vivas, ma'am. Apart from knowledge, like everyone can learn, everyone can read the things, but that confidence and that even though in that fear, if we have to develop that confidence to speak, so that is the main thing is much needed during the vivas, ma'am. So that is the thing I literally like I gained from academics. So I'm really very much thankful to everyone.
I'll ask you a slightly different question, Sangeeta. Different from others because your situation was different from others.
Yes, sir.
This is not a technical question about how your preparation and stuff. You've been really down with your health, and how did you motivate yourself to bounce back, and not just bounce back to your normal life, but to take a challenge on? How did you do this all? What was the mantra? Was it just trust in God or faith in yourself? What was it that pushed you to overcome pain and suffering and get through this?
So I was very persistent, sir. Like from November, like before registering this part 2 EDAIC part 2, like I used to spend like 1 to 2 hours daily since like 2.5 months. Because I will not get much time like others. Before, like for the previous session, like I used to attend academics viva like for 3 hours, 4 hours at a stretch. But after giving birth to my child, like I couldn't attend the mock vivas, all those things, because I can't spend that much time at a stretch, sir. So I need to make my time like 1 or 2 hours daily. I was preparing for the vivas from January or at the end of December. So I started early, and with the limited time, I was very much persistent and consistently preparing. So that is the thing. And apart from knowledge, like we have to be very much confident to speak whatever we know, sir. So we should not be afraid, like we should not hesitate to speak things, so that is the main thing they needed. They need some knowledge, and not much explain. They are not expecting us to explain the things, but they are checking whether we have knowledge about that topic or not. So what I felt is that we should not hesitate to speak, or we should not think much like whether we can tell this or not. Whatever comes to my mind, we should speak. That is the main thing they are expecting. So
Yeah, confidence and articulation are very important factors. If you
yeah,
and to be confident and articulate, you need practice. It's
yes, sir.
something some people might be very gifted, but most of us are not. And I
Yes.
mean, I'm talking about myself. I couldn't speak 2 sentences in front of a public in an audience. My knees would start shaking and knocking with each other. I was so nervous about speaking in front of people. I don't have to think twice. I mean, I can say very awkward things sometimes, which you guys have to bear with sometimes. But it's because with practice, I have developed confidence to articulate myself. And I think same thing goes with you guys. If you keep practicing in mock vivas, if you first do it in the confine of your own space, pick up those recorded vivas, listen to them, practice with yourself in front of a mirror or in front of put up a phone or some recording, and see how you sound when you look at yourself when you're at your recording, and see what it feels like. If you think that's not good enough, improvise yourself. And then next step is to come for the mock vivas. That way you will really be able to overcome yourself. I saw some candidates who appeared for the first time today. They were really like scared like rabbits, and I'll be so glad to see them being very confident like wolves in the next 3 to 4 weeks. That is the transformation we see in them. It's really in first week and 4 weeks later, 5 weeks later, we see a completely different person. This is exactly what you all need in terms of your preparation journey. So I think any questions before we come to the end of this session, or anything that you would like to say, Sangeeta, for the candidates?
Yes, sir. I want to say that before going to exam, like before going to the main exam, at least give 1 or 2 mock vivas, because that will improve your confidence, and like you will get rid of the fear, sir. So when I got the first question, like I was very much scared, like I don't know what to do, but after that only I developed the confidence and speak. So that is the thing is much needed, sir. So instead of speaking within yourselves, like getting ready things within yourselves, you should speak in public forum. So that is the thing needed. So you should give as many as vivas you can. So that is the thing, sir. So if you give like as many vivas you can, then you will develop that confidence, and you will forget that stress, and you will enjoy the vivas. So that is the advice I would like to give the future candidates.
Absolutely. Don't prepare in the confine of just within your own space. Open up, come in front of other people, and talk confidently. Learn to talk confidently in front of others. That's how your confidence to face the viva will grow.
Yes,
any questions from the audience before we wind up the session, or from the faculty?
Hello, sir.
Hi, Dr. Sujesh.
Hello, sir. Actually, I have some doubts regarding the exam.
Fire away.
Yeah, sir. Actually, last year I attended the online session. I had not prepared well. Under 1 month preparation, I attended the exam, and I could prepare only basic science because I was very weak in basic science, and I managed to just pass the basic science exam. But clinical, I couldn't read much, and all my questions were all from super specialty topics. So was totally a miserable session for me in clinical. So my question is, how should I? My exam is on April 21st, and I had some problem with my connections during the exam, or internet connections. So I got scared, and this time I booked offline, face-to-face exam.
Yeah.
So my question is regarding how can I manage clinical sessions, because how to study, I'm still not sure how to study clinical, how to answer clinical vivas. Basic science, we are just reading and we can reproduce something, but clinical, I think I am more weak in clinical. I am working as a single anesthetist, that is contrasting, but still I couldn't answer, because as soon as they are changing the scenarios, I am getting stuck and I couldn't answer. And I told some blunders also in the anesthetic management, I guess.
So, as you rightly said,
Sir, can I pitch in?
please do.
Yeah, Sujesh, I mean, if you are a person,
madam.
if you gain more knowledge more than reading, if you're a person who gains more knowledge by listening and verbalizing, then I would say, I mean, if I was in your situation, because I'm a person who learns more by listening than reading the book. The more I start reading, I tend to doze off. So if you are such a person, then my sincere advice to you to cover in the short span of time, at least the important topics and I would not say it's an over exaggerated advice, but I would say this is the most practical advice I can give you, is to listen to at least the recorded sessions, so that, I think we have with the system wise as well. So you can go through those recorded sessions as fast as possible, and then at the same time cover those topics in the book. So I think that is the fastest way for you to finish it now, because if you're going to take the book and do the system wise in the book, I don't know how much you'll be able to speak out. Finally remember the points and then deliver it. So the best way I would say is that to go through these sessions in a rapid way, the recorded sessions, and then when you're ready, attend at least about 3 to 4 mock vivas, and then you'll be able to confidently deal with clinical sessions. Because by God's grace, we have been able to cover most of the important clinical topics. Whenever we hear the candidates, it's like, okay, this we covered. Even you have heard in this session also, like some of the candidates had shared that thing, what are the topics which we discussed just came outrightly. So I think that should really help you out. But at this, you have exactly 1 month and 10 days, if I'm not sure, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
So in that case, I think this is the best way you can do it.
Okay,
what do you feel,
Thank
Anish, sir?
Yeah, well, exactly. I ditto your what you said. It's most people think that clinical aspect is what we do on a day-to-day life, and we will be able to cope with that. It should not be a problem at all.
I think the best
But
person is Dr. Abdullah to answer this question, because he
okay,
has
Dr.
seen.
Abdullah.
I'm sorry, I just interrupted you, but because he has seen
No, no.
both sides of the sea, so I think.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, I should not have told, but
No,
suddenly
no. I will just drop my piece of advice, and I'll let Dr. Abdullah speak. So you do think that clinical things because you do them day in and day out, and you'll be able to cope with that. And saying that you are a single anesthetist, you're always in the midst of clinical scenarios, but this is sometimes not true. Reason being, I'll tell you from today's experience in the Viva itself. We were having a scenario about some laparotomy or something, some truncal surgery, and the candidate mentioned about a spinal being used for that. Maybe in your day-to-day practice, you can use spinal for abdominal surgeries. But in UK, if you say that you're going to do any abdominal surgery in a spinal only surgery, not without a GA, it's a straight away fail. Unless it's a hernia or something which is lower down perineal region, you can't really say that. Whereas in India, it was absolutely normal for practice, to be honest, in the private practice work. So sometimes your clinical experience is not going to help you in the exam. Sometimes it contravenes your answer completely. And that is why it's very important to go through these recorded vivas and really pick up those things, those areas where you are completely blacked out and you do not want to say those words in the exam, because saying just that one word is a absolute fail. And we have seen candidates who've been very knowledgeable, they just said the wrong thing, which was probably normal for their practice, and that's it. They just couldn't survive that session. They label you as being an unsafe anaesthetist, then nothing can save you from having a successful result. So I'll unmute Dr. Abdullah. Dr. Abdullah Arvila, can you provide some advice to Dr. Sujesh, whose question is mainly around clinical preparation, about clinical sessions?
Sorry, Dr. Darsh, not my son.
Yeah.
I'm busy. Sorry.
No worries. Yeah, no worries. He's busy with his son. I think he's babysitting at the moment. So he's on non-clinical duties. Yeah, I was saying you're on non-clinical duties at the moment.
Yeah. My son is sick and he's crying now. So I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries. We understand. That's all right. That's fine. Thank you. So I think you got the message, Sujesh. It's
Yes, sir.
time is of essence. You have 1.5 months or so, and all you need is to pick up those recorded vivas and recorded lectures, go through them systematically, make notes, meticulous notes of what are the things that you're picking up, bullet points. Make sure you revise them. Go to the viva section. If you're doing cardiac, listen to the cardiac lectures. Go to the cardiac viva, listen to the cardiac viva. Pick up whatever is there, and don't forget, try and come to these mock viva sessions, and try to come there as soon as possible. I would say join us now. Don't leave it for another 2 or 3 weeks. Join us now while you're preparing while you're listening to those recorded sessions. And in those mock vivas, we can probably guide you where you need to work hard on.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
In 1 week, I will join.
Actually,
certainly.
what I was preparing, we always used to, me and Dikshita, when we used to prepare, always we had a fear that we have not read, we have not revised. What if they ask us this question and we won't be able to answer? Everyone will make a mock of us. It is an inherent fear. Even we also had been through. This is very, and the day you wait that everything will be, you have read and you will come, by that time exam will also be over. So that day will never come that you have read everything, and especially in medical science. And I'm sure till now you have done your MBBS, your MD, post-graduation, you never have gone to a medical exam with full preparation. Every time you have gone with some lacunae. So just overcome that. Whatever you have read, whatever residual you have, you come up.
Okay, madam.
Either two things will happen. If you know everything, then it's well and good. It will boost up your confidence. If you don't answer, then you will realize where you actually stand. And second thing, you will learn something and go.
Okay.
Either of the way you are.
And in our mock vivas, nobody judges each other. We are all in the same boat. Neither the examiners nor the candidates who are attending, the fellow candidates. Everybody is there to absorb. Nobody is there to look around who knows what and who doesn't. Everybody knows that there's a huge ocean of knowledge to absorb. Nobody will be thinking in any way which is being sort of labeling someone in any way. So come with an open mind and you will gain a lot from these sessions.
Okay, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you. Thank you, madam.
Most welcome. Fantastic. I think we had a good overall picture from the candidates. Is there anything else you guys would like to ask us before we say final goodbye for this weekend? And for those who are starting to fast from tomorrow, happy Ramadan. I'm actually outside a supermarket to do my Ramadan shopping as well. That's why you can see me in the car. So I will also be, if you see me a little bit with my sunken eyes and hollow cheeks, that means I'm fasting on next weekend. But until then, we will see you guys, and have a nice week, and happy Ramadan to all of you. Thank you and bye-bye.